In order to restrict permissions, we must have installed the Information Rights Manager in Microsoft Word. The Rights Manager is a component of the Windows Rights Management Service. This is also referred to as RMS. RMS is a service that runs on Windows Server. It is strongly recommended that you go to the Microsoft website and read up on the rights management services. This is a licensed application. One of the components of RMS is the Information Rights Manager. This is a tool that is universal throughout all of Microsoft Office. It allows us to prevent a recipient from forwarding, copying, modifying, printing, or even pasting content from a document into another source. You can restrict the content from being copied even by using the print screen. The idea is wherever this document is sent, it would never be able to be duplicated. Along with limiting duplication, it also supports expiration dates. This allows me to give you 2 to 3 months to review a document, and then you would no longer be able to look at it after that date and time. It's a wonderful way to enforce corporate policies. The Information Rights Manager is an important feature of protection. This protection comes from the Office button under Prepare and Restricting Permissions. Once the Information Rights Manager is installed, we can now restrict access. Now please note, for the purpose of this examination, if you go to the Restrict Permissions and do not have IRM or the Information Rights Manager loaded, you will be taken to a screen that will allow you to get a free trial. It is recommended that you accept this free trial and acclimate yourself to the procedures and the permissions. If I would like to restrict permissions to this document, I can now go in and actually set passwords. You will notice that I have the ability to give the email addresses of read and change boxes. I simply put the user in who has read permissions, a user who has change. You'll note also that under More Options, I have the ability to control the access level. At this point, I can add a brand new user and it brings me back to the first screen. Here you'll notice that the permissions can expire on a particular date. These permissions can also include print contact, allow the user to read access, allow access content to be programmed. Even additional settings can be gained by the reader by simply asking for permissions from an address. You will note that once you actually set the permissions, you will now see a bar across the top that will tell you that you are restricted. You can view the documents, but unless you have permission, you cannot change them. If I'd like to change permissions, when I go to the box, you will notice it brings me right back where I started from. If I am the recipient, this screen will be replaced with the address that I need to write to have the permissions modified. Again, working with the restricted access is a wonderful way to really think about where your data is going. If you want to at any given time, you can unrestrict the access, take off the permissions, and then have full rights. Each of the programs in Microsoft Office will use this Information Rights Manager.